The month of March is usually, set aside for women. To be precise, I think 5th or 7th of March is our day.
Yes.
All right, now we have seen the background talking about expanding the capacity, intellectual capacity of women for political participation. Yes. I should start with you, Mrs. Michelle. Drawing from your wealth of experience, working outside the shores of Nigeria,
yes,
by extension of course, Africa.
Yes.
What would you say is your assessment of the political participation of women in Africa?
Well, first of all, I'd just like to make a slight correction that I'm born in England, in London. My parents are from the Caribbean.
Okay, the Caribbean.
Yeah, from the Caribbean.
But from your profile, your DNA.
My DNA, yes.
That,
I took a DNA test 3 years ago and found out I was predominantly Nigerian.
Okay.
So I took my own pilgrimage back to Nigeria to make sure that the transatlantic slave trade did not annihilate their daughter returning home.
And that makes you a Nigerian.
Yes, that's right.
By the way.
So that makes me a Nigerian.
Yeah.
Now, going back to... Thank you very much. It has been such a wonderful experience. I have a slogan now, Nigeria is nice. So, I want to encourage everybody to take that pilgrimage back themselves. Now, moving back to your question, can you refresh my memory about
your assessment?
Okay.
Yes, of political participation of women in this climb, talking about Africa, and of course, to be specific, Nigeria.
Okay. Well, I can see that Nigeria hasn't got so much visible politicians that are female, but Africa in itself is not negligent of having that, because you had the first lady of Liberia who, pioneered that. Also, I have met politicians outside of Nigeria. I met Hawa Yeboah, who's a Ghanaian politician. But when I look around Nigeria, I don't see that visibility of women in politics. And there are many reasons for that, which we can discuss later. One of it is the patriarchal society that we're living in, that doesn't allow women equity. It doesn't give them opportunity. And it's not that they're not enriched in having that knowledge base to be able to contribute to politics. But I think that there's many embargoes put on them that doesn't allow them to be at the forefront of driving forward change in Nigeria. And I think that's a real untapped talent, and it's a shame that it hasn't been come to the forefront.
All right, that's good. That's your assessment of the political terrain when it comes to women in Africa. All right, let me talk to you, Mrs. Margaret. Looking at what she just said, she has mentioned one out of the barriers that are really hindering women from participating effectively in politics in this part of the world. What is your take on this?
Okay, like she mentioned earlier, thank you very much, darling. She mentioned the societal norms, which has been the dominant factor. And I'll also throw more light on lack of education and lack of platforms for exposure. It's the one thing about leadership